Hello. First
we
and
know you guys
foremost,
already. Yeah.
we are so excited to talk to you more about the episode. I know that we met last night for the first time at the premiere party here in Los Angeles. It was so fun meeting the two of you and just talking face to face for a little bit.
Yeah, likewise.
My first question is always like, what inspired y'all to audition to be on The Amazing Race? Are you super fans, or did this just fall into your lap?
It was so funny. I've been watching Amazing Race since I was a little kid, right? So I love the show. I loved it. I've always wanted to be on it. Nina didn't even hear about the show.
Fell into my lap.
She didn't even know about it. Like 2 years ago, we sent in an audition tape, and I like set up a tripod on the couch, and I was like, Nina, let's do this. And she's like, I don't know what you're doing. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go without you. It's like, hey, so this is me, this is Nina, this is what we're gonna be on The Amazing Race.
And I'm like, stop, I'm working.
Like, on her laptop, not even paying attention. And I was like, Nina, I need you to focus. She's not even paying attention. And then 2 years later, we get a call, and they're like, hey, first of all, they're like, are you two still together? Because a lot of couples broke up during the pandemic. Are you still together? I was like, yes. And they're like, oh, second question is, can we see more of your partner? Because she wasn't really participating in the audition video. And so they made us redo the audition video.
I mean, but clearly I was enough. Like, enough.
Her personality was enough, because she was like, I don't want to be part of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay, so when you got the initial phone call and you started doing all the application process, what preparation did the two of you do together to get ready for the starting line?
Oh my God. Like, I know you can't see it in the first episode, but we prepared so much. And we took some advice from you guys too. Like, we learned, we did the language wall. We like, like we literally, we went kayaking, rock climbing. We did plate spinning. We did balancing on our head. We rented churros and stick shift cars. And like, we went swimming. Like we learned the Botswanan and Tanzanian national anthem. You know what I mean? Like, we just did all of the things, but there's nothing that could really prepare you for this race.
I will say, okay, guys, I saw your video with the wine bottle on your head.
Yeah.
We tried that. We gave up. We weren't able to do it, but we were like, it happened in 32. It's not going to happen now.
The odds.
I think renting churro, that's so smart for stick shift, because I think when we started preparing, the stick shift was the hardest thing
to find.
So we ended up going through some weird driver's training course, but it was on like a vintage stick shift.
Like a car from the 50s, and it was just like not the best.
It backfired on the show.
It didn't work.
Wait a second, but didn't y'all have like a really old vehicle in your season?
Yes.
Germany?
So did it work?
Yeah.
No, because that stick shift, you like pulled it out. It was like the weirdest car I think I've ever seen in my life. It was like not normal stick. You got into that car and it came with instructions. So I was like, oh, this is crazy.
I think it was Germany, yeah.
And also
Also Germany, right? Germany.
Yeah. So when you all got onto the plane and you were going to Munich, what was going through your mind? What were you feeling?
Also, we didn't know we were going to Munich. Literally, they put us on this plane and they told us nothing. Yeah. Nothing. We imagine being on a plane for like 10 hours, not knowing what direction you're going in, right? Yeah. So as soon as the plane started landing, like we studied the flags. And so like as soon as it started landing, I was looking out for flags. And then I saw the German flag and I was like, oh, great, we're in Germany. What city are we in? And then I saw like it says München, like, right? And I was like, oh, I think we're in Munich. I think that translates to Munich. And so like we knew before, I think a lot of the other teams where exactly we were, you know, because we were looking out. But imagine being on a flight and not knowing where you were going.
Even the flight attendants were like playing around with us. Like, you don't know where you're going. We're like, you are not nice.
You're so mean.
They were
like, you don't know, but I do. I'm like, great. Thanks.
Yeah, it was
good
wild.
for you.
That's hilarious. Because on our season, we were able to kind of use flight attendants to our advantage, and like we would ask them if they had either like a map or some sort of like language guide or some sort of resource that would help us wherever we were traveling. So totally different.
Yours was just like dangling
right
information.
There. Yeah. Even the captain of the plane was just like, "Enjoy your trip to." Cut out.
I love it. Okay, so when you're at the starting line and you hear Phil starting to talk about how this will be a season of first, and one of those things being no non-elimination legs, How did that make you feel, especially for being such a fan?
Oh my God. Because we were relying on it.
We were
trying to put Arun
100%.
and Talia, just rely on them. You know what I mean? So like we realized that we couldn't. And then the scramble. So like imagine so much preparation, right? We've watched so many episodes of the show. Sometimes like we've watched them 2 times, right? And so imagine in your head, you are so used to a specific format. And then you have a strategy for that specific format. And the moment Phil says, okay, scramble, it really messed with us, actually. It really did. Yeah, and so
we're like, Phil, what are you talking about?
Come on, Phil. Relax. Like you couldn't have done this for another
episode. It's funny because I enjoy watching it, but to do it is a totally different scenario. And I think the scramble would have really thrown me for a loop because you're just so out of control. Like you have no idea what other teams are doing. You don't know who's in front, who's behind. It's all just like a guessing game. And I like commend all of you on your season for doing the scramble because that's hard. That was crazy.
And you know what's so crazy is that me and Nina were doing a lot of things. We did ice super fast. We did sauce super fast. We passed a bunch of teams. And at one point, like I thought after those 2, I thought we were in first place because we were going at things so fast. And then what killed us was the barrel roll. Because what you didn't see is every time you went you went over time on the barrel roll, there was a 2-minute waiting penalty. And so that added up and added up and added up. And we lost the race by 3 minutes. And so, and it was such a strenuous barrel roll. You saw Michael and Marcus, who were these big guys, and they got it at 54, like 1 second left to spare. And we kept hitting 56, 56, 56. And like at one point we got 55.5 and they made us do it again. Yeah, we did. It was crazy. And so those 2-minute penalties were the nail in our coffin.
Aastha was keeping track. I was just like,
it just, those
like
2 minutes.
Trying to catch your breath.
Yeah, I literally thought like we were first because we were flying through everything.
Aastha's also overly optimistic. Like there's people that are reasonable and they're like, I'm middle of the pack at most.
Yeah, well, we were doing really well until that happened. Yeah.
So how many times did you actually roll the barrels?
I think 5. Yeah. 5
Somebody
times.
told us 5. For some reason, my traumatic mind is like 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah.
10 or 11.
We blocked out the trauma.
It's really interesting to hear that because I was going to ask, like, what do you think kind of went wrong for y'all to kind of, ultimately end with the elimination? But someone tweeted, like, did you guys think that it had to do with like mapping out your course and taking time with looking at a map? So it's interesting hearing it was the barrels, and you guys are actually.
It was, I mean, we took an extra 3 minutes at the starting line because we're thinking from like season 33, there's like rural and you don't have people to ask and like that can kill time and whatnot. So we're like, let's be strategic about this. We're Asian. We were doing our homework, right? You know what I mean? And so like, we're like, let's be strategic about this. And it killed only maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, but we had thorough instructions. And I think the barrel was the one that killed
also,
us.
y'all, now that y'all live in LA, okay? LA traffic. Think about that happening at the same time in Munich when we were trying to roll around, and somehow we hit all of it. Yeah, we hit all the traffic. That was we're like, get out of our way. She kept on screaming at people in German.
I actually learned a line in German. Du fährst meine Oma, which literally translates to you drive like my grandmother.
And then she was trying to talk to everybody, and
I was trying to do it as a joke, actually.
Yeah, and I kept on telling her, drive, just drive.
Yeah. Another thing was like I was cracking jokes the whole time because I was like, this is my one shot at fame. And Nina was like, you gotta focus. And so I could have been a little bit more focused, but I thought we were doing things so fast. And like even with the sawing challenge, I was like, Nina and I haven't been around wood in like 15 years. We have no idea what we're doing. You know what I mean? And she's like, stop making jokes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, stop. Nobody's gonna listen to you if we're gonna get out anymore. You won't have more airtime.
Yeah, I know.
You're done.
But I'm happy. They kept a couple of jokes. So I hope we kept you laughing in last night's episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say it looks like you two are having so much fun, and I think you guys approach the leg with such ease. I mean, I think watching the show and being a fan, you kind of go into it with a little bit of a level of confidence, I would say, and that definitely came off. I want to know kind of. Well, you said it was 3 minute difference, right? 3 minute difference.
From us and David and Aubrey.
Yeah. They saw, so that scene where she actually saw us, she did see us.
Yeah.
Like you never know with editing, but they saw them
so close. Yeah. So we were literally like in our heads, slipping out of our hands $333,000 every minute. Like literally, yeah. It was 3 minutes, and it was literally the nail in our coffin was the barrels. Yeah,
I know. Well, and the other things.
Well, and another thing about the scramble is that you're all taking different paths. And so like you said, with traffic, you could have taken the path that was like, that's the traffic road. And somebody else could have gone around it because their driver, like there's so many variables. Whereas if you're doing like a path of like roadblock, detour, whatever, everybody's kind of following the same. And if you all are in traffic, or going to the same place, you're all going to be in the same traffic. So there's so many variables.
Yeah.
You're so right though, because it's like, it's like when you take one path one day, it's like that changes completely, different times, everything. So you're right. That is such another variable.
405 and it's filled with traffic. You can take Lincoln down to the airport. It's gonna be free, you don't know. And we're never in Munich, Yeah.
So. Yeah. Munich. Traffic wise, it is a really not grid-like city.
Was there anything in the premiere that, like a moment maybe the two of you shared that you wish would have made the edit, or some special moment?
Oh, such a good question. You know what was so great is like I'm a meditation coach, right? And so like I've been trying to get Nina to meditate for so long, and in between one of the penalties, the 2-minute waiting penalties, she actually started meditating because she just needed to refocus.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her.
Not to make it a big deal. Yeah. Don't boost her breath. No, don't do that. It was just to slow down my breath, make sure that I was still present.
It's called meditation. It's called meditation.
Okay, anyway, whatever. Mine was whenever we were moving back and forth between the log, like we actually had this rhythm in, and we were like, lean back, lean back, lean back. And I really wish that
I thought that joke should have gone in there. Yeah.
But then well
that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so my question, Nina, is since that meditation moment, have you meditated again?
No, absolutely not. I just knew that it's like in the race, right? It's like when you do things like 4 or 5 times, frustration is what's going to make it is going to break you. So I was just like, I'm not going to let that get me. Like 5 times, if we're here to do it 100 times, sure, whatever. Yeah. Right. I hope that doesn't happen. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not meditating after this, but it's very useful in this moment.
Yeah. And so I do stand-up comedy. And so like, I'm just so happy with this edit because they kept so many jokes in. And I was like, this is the best edit that I could have possibly asked for. I had a whole bunch of more wood jokes. I wish they kept that in, but I was happy with the edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a family show.
And again,
I know. Thank you.
So much fun. Like that to me is really what the race is all about. It's just having fun, soaking up every aspect of the experience. My last question for the two of you, I mean, doing the show as a couple, like it's challenging as much as it is fun. What was the biggest takeaway you learned about your relationship moving forward?
Oh my gosh. I think whenever we entered into the race, like we never competed together before. I don't know if y'all have prior to the race, but that was a different dynamic. So learning how each other works within a team dynamic was different. I'm a little bit more stubborn too. So I need to reel back and like not exert my dominance whenever I might not know everything because she is the more of the fan, right? Yeah. And I think that was also a downfall in many capacities. In many capacities for like couples like us, right? It's like the super fan and the dominant partner. That is usually a very dangerous mix sometimes, and learned it very, very, very quickly. But we're here, so there's no need to think back in the past, boys.
Yeah. I mean, we had such a good time. There's no Nina's a better consultant than she is a racer. I'm a better comedian than I am a racer. And like it's like anything, there's so many variables and anything could have went wrong. And it was like that one thing that just like killed us. But we're so happy. We're so grateful. Yeah. I mean, we were driving last night to the premiere and we're driving through LA. We saw the beautiful skyline and we were like, we're driving through LA, one of the best cities in the world, and we get to go to the premiere for a TV show we're on. Like how much, like my heart just gratitude, honestly. So I'm just really happy that we got to do this together.
Yeah. And we got
there are millions of people, like maybe millions, thousands of people have applied. And so even just to be on the show is an accomplishment. And y'all were so fun to watch. It was like incredible to see y'all on the show. And just see your positive energy. Your jokes were fantastic. And
That's all she cares about,
y'all.
Yes. You just made it. You made the premiere so much fun. I think all the little snippets in the beginning of y'all getting directions and the cars was so funny to me. It just made me laugh so hard.
Like, oh, we're from Los Angeles. Where are you from? Like, get Jack.
That was actually real. It felt that for us.
It was so good. But yeah, it was just so fun to watch y'all. I personally am so bummed, and I know y'all are bummed to be eliminated, but just with the one episode that you were on, y'all definitely made an impact. Y'all were wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. We love you guys. We were looking up to you guys as fellow racers, so thank you for being good role models.
Yeah, let's go get beignets. Studio City.
Let's go get beignets together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Traumatizing.
Love meeting y'all last night. So much fun, and we'll be recapping the season. So if you ever want to join us and talk about an upcoming episode, we'd love to have.
Yeah, we're in LA, so we're close by.
We could literally be where you are. Yeah, let us know.
Yes. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys.